Hello, everybody. This is Alia Jamal, the love coach, and we are meeting for another love circle. And today we are learning about kindness, creating discipline with kindness. Now, the word discipline can be triggering to some of us or some people if you were kind of disciplined in your childhood using punishment. If that is your experience, my goal is today to transform that experience and maybe put a different kind of feeling in there so we can create discipline, so we can keep moving forward, and we can even understand what it can do for us, why it's there, and how we can use it to be our best friend and not to be something that we run away from. I personally ran away from the word discipline for the longest time because as I started my self-development journey and I realized how much I have suppressed myself in the name of discipline, the rebellious side came out, and it was like, I don't want a schedule. I don't want this. Don't label me. Don't tell me to do all these things. So as I was dealing with that rebellious side, I got to experience and learn for myself how being kind can transform our experience. So this conversation could be for everybody, or it could be only for people who have very hard time sticking to a schedule. They have very hard time to really putting the steps down and actually following them, because it feels so hard to even do it. So we are going to get into a little bit of that. So first, just let's look into what discipline is. To me, discipline is being able to do something over and over without pushing yourself. That's how I relate to discipline. But I did look at Google. I just wanted to see what Google has to say about it. So discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Not sure if your parents followed this Google examples, but mine definitely did. I come from the background where spanking was okay, and actually even a little bit more than spanking or beating up was okay too. I was growing up in 80s, it was acceptable where I was being raised. So if you come from that kind of upbringing where if you didn't finish your plate of food, you got like, a slap on the side. If your room was messy, there was like, some kind of physical punishment consequences to that. So then there could be that rebellion within you that I don't want to stick to a structure. But at the same time, we all realize the importance of having a structure, and we'll get into all of that too. So right now, I just want you to look at the word discipline and pay attention to how you feel about it. What happens in your body when you hear that word? What kind of thoughts come into your mind when you hear that word? Because most of us, when we have a dream or we're trying to build something, we're like, I just need to be disciplined. I just can't get myself to be disciplined. This is exactly what we are talking about. So by the time we are done talking here today, you will know why is it so and how you can transform it. But right now, just pay attention to how you connect with the word discipline. What is your opinion about it? My opinion is that it can be my best friend if I implement it, because it can do so many wonderful things for me. So that is how I connect with it. Am I disciplined in all areas of my life? No, not at all. But there are some areas of my life I am very disciplined, and I am already seeing the fruits of it. That's why I want to bring in other parts of my life too. So just right now, just check in with yourself. How do you feel about this word? What is your relationship with it? How it's creating wonderful things in your life, or where it's creating chaos because there's a little bit of rebellion going on within you. So that is all that we want to do in this part. Now let's get into how it can be so beneficial for us. So the way I have understood discipline, it's more of a conditioning of your nervous system. You do something over and over and over and over to a point that you don't even have to think about it anymore. It becomes an involuntary response. It becomes unconscious response, or it becomes an unconscious action. Something I started doing long time ago. As soon as I wake up, I drink 2 glasses of water. At this point, I don't even have to think about it. I come out of bed, I just walk to where I keep my water in the kitchen, and the next thing I know, I'm drinking it. I don't have to push myself. I don't have to like force or talk to myself. Oh, it's good for you. You should do it. So all that we can take away with discipline. So what's going on? I want you to understand what's going on. So we have a wonderful, very complex nervous system. But look at it, it's a computer. Once you put a program and computer has accepted that program, then you just get to chillax. Then you get to do so many things on autopilot. Unfortunately, a lot of those programs are negative programs. Negative in a sense, they are not benefiting us where we want to go. Maybe they did benefit us when we were young, when we were a teenager, when we were a 5-year-old. They were very, very helpful, but maybe right now they are not helpful. For example, when you were 5, throwing a tantrum meant you got what you wanted. Maybe you wanted like Cocoa Puff cereal, you threw a tantrum and mom gave in, and that's what you got. But now, if we are an adult, let's say you're in your mid-30s, throwing a tantrum is not going to get you anything. People are going to think you're weird. What's wrong with you? Why are you acting like a child? But that same behavior pattern is within us. Now we throw tantrum in different ways. It usually comes as a rebellion. It comes like, I did all this work, now I just want to sit and binge watch Netflix and do nothing. So 2 days, that's what you're doing. On the third day, you're so upset with yourself. Oh my God, I just wasted 2 days. That's how the tantrum is showing up. So I want you to understand a little bit about it. So here we are going back to our stick figure. I actually absolutely love working with it. It made things so much easier for me. Conscious mind, subconscious mind. So subconscious mind, that's where this is our feeling mind. And also this is the, like, you know, all the unconscious program or behavior sits here. So let's say if I am used to waking up, let's say 8 a.m. instead of 5 a.m., this is my unconscious behavior. At some point in my life, I created it, maybe unconsciously, to create some safety within me. So that's a behavior I have. My whole nervous system is wired that way. My whole body is part of my unconscious mind, or my unconscious mind is within my whole body. So I cannot even get my body out of bed. I cannot even convince, and that's creating frustration within me. That is the discipline my body is in right now. First thing, I need to understand that. If I don't understand that, I am going against myself, thinking I'm the enemy, but enemy is the behavior that has been sitting there. And it's we can change it with so much ease. We don't have to do a lot once you understand what's going on. So first, understand whatever behavior you want to change, whether it's like staying up late, not eating healthy food, not finishing your task on time, whatever you're struggling with, it's coming from that unconscious behavior that at some point was created to keep you safe. So the more you understand that, the more you feel gratitude towards this unhealthy habit that you have going on, or the habit that is not needed in your life anymore, the more you feel gratitude towards it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for helping me when I really needed your help. You start to become your own friend. You start to become friend of that part of you, the part of you that served you, that saved you, that made sure that today you're here. You start to come on the same page. It's like, you can fight with a bully, or you can try to be kind to a bully, and you can become friends with a bully. The second one takes more effort, but once you become friends, you get rid of bully forever. You never have to worry about fighting with that person in your life. So it's similar to that concept. So how we are going to change it? We are going to change it with repetition. It's very easy. Any behavior that we have at the moment, it's been there after a lot of repetition, because this is what happens when you're doing something over and over and over. Your unconscious mind take it as it's part of you. And once your unconscious mind gets convinced it's part of you, it's your identity, that's who you are, it's going to hold on to it. Unless there's some drastic things happening in your life, for the most part, it's going to hold on to it. For example, people who are used to running in the morning, it doesn't matter if it's cold, rainy, windy, hot, it doesn't matter for them. They just get up, they're just out the house, because they have done it over and over and over. It does not even feel like there's a lot of push involved at this point, or they have to force themselves. So that is how you can change anything. Now, this is what's going to happen. When we try to, let me actually stick to an example. What example would be good? Finishing your to-do list. Let's just stick to that. Finishing your to-do list. Let's say you, or maybe, you know what, we should stick with exercising. That is a bigger pain point for most of us, especially if you're not getting out of the house, if you're working from home, or if you're just staying home for this part of your life. Movement can become such a big challenge. It gets like put down on the bottom of the list, right? So that is something you're trying to do. And now your idea of discipline is anytime you didn't do something, you were punished in one way or the other. So this is how maybe the behavior goes. You do it 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4th day, you couldn't wake up early, and then you're beating yourself up all day, being so negative towards yourself. That is the punishing part. That's how you're punishing yourself. And maybe later on you're binge eating, you're like, what's the point of even doing it? I can never keep up with my routine. So that's where your discipline is just going down the drain, because the rebellious side is coming up. That part, maybe when you were 5-year-old, you couldn't rebel to an authority, your parent, who were much more bigger than you in size, and they could really do whatever to you. Unfortunately, they could do whatever to you, and you could not rebel to the level now you can rebel. So now this rebellious side comes up, and everything is kind of destroyed. I don't know about you, but for me, back in the day, it used to take like 2 weeks sometime to really come back to where I was before and be like, you know what? I think let me give it a try. So there's something we are going to do. I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you how to bypass all this chaos. That's why I said creating discipline with kindness. So by now, we all understand that discipline is going to be something you're doing over and over and over. So it can go into your subconscious mind and it can benefit you without you even have to think about it. So you can take different things wherever you are in your life. For example, for me right now, the discipline that I'm creating is being able to work out at home by myself. I had to take, I'm a hot yoga person. I had to take some time off from that. Um, so now it's like shifting to do it at home. So I'll share like real life example with you, what I'm going through. Um, right now, I am just focusing on, okay, that's what I want to do. I have not put a time down. I have not tried to force myself to do it. Right now, it's just like, oh, this is what I want to do. So I want you to put in front of you, this is what I want to do. Now, keep telling yourself, this is what I want to do. I would suggest at least do it for 2 weeks. Maybe you can just tell yourself, like, I want to start a home exercise routine or maybe an outside exercise routine. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's where I'm headed. When you're just repeating it over and over, it's almost like you're making the soil soft. Like whenever we plant a seed, we have to kind of dig the soil to make it soft before we can plant the seed in it so the air can get in. That's kind of what you're doing. You're getting ready that that's the change I want to create, because already your unconscious mind is start to get used to, oh, that's what's coming up, oh, that's what we are already doing. It's paying attention, your whole body's paying attention to every time you think that's what where I'm headed. So it's very important that you bring the new concept and you kind of let it marinate for a couple of weeks. So you're getting used to that idea. Oh, that's where I want to go next. And second thing you will do, you can do it in one sitting and then just implement that 2 weeks of marination, and then you have a plan. So make a plan what you're going to do. For example, I was looking at different yoga programs. I looked at the YouTube videos, I looked at the free videos, I looked at the paid programs, and finally there's this one I absolutely love. I know it's going to make me excited to be able to bend my body to that level. So it takes you through like a step by step to create that kind of flexibility. That's what draws me in. So find that for yourself. If movement is something you've been looking for, something that would be so exciting for you, where you will get yourself to say yes to it. If something that you're working on is really boring and you're like, how do I bring excitement to that? So it could be even like, eating more fruits and vegetable. That might be it. Or it could be waking up 1 hour early and you're like, I'm just not feeling this discipline or even motivation. So that's where you become creative and find how you can make it exciting. What is something you can do? So that is the reward part in our psychology, where we make it exciting that you will actually get up and do it. And the reason we are doing it this way, that's the third part that I want to talk about. That's where kindness is going to come in. The child who had a unpleasant experience with discipline is still hurting within you. That is the child part of you that tried to become rebellious, that tried to throw tantrum, that tried to go and sabotage whatever you're trying to create. Because that part of you does not care. It just wants to be safe. And safety is in familiarity. Safety is in being sane. And then you're using your adult mind and you're like, oh, let me change my life. So that part of you is like, no way we are doing that. That's too dangerous. So now ask yourself, or you can even close eyes and imagine your 5-year-old self in front of you. And if you have a picture, it's a wonderful idea to keep that picture in front of you. Just make a connection with that part of you. It still exists within you. And just imagine this is the child you're demanding or asking to do whatever you want to do. So this is a child you're asking or demanding whatever you're going to do. That's where the heart of kindness is going to come from. We are going to start to become kind to ourselves not because we have to or we want to, because there's a child within us. That child deserves kindness. Maybe it didn't get kindness from parents all the time. Maybe he got it only sometime, only when he or she behaved really well. Only then they got kindness. But can you give kindness to this child at all time? Because that child is you, your younger version, still living within you. So can you be kind to this child? Before you make these huge plans, this is the child you're demanding to wake up at 5 a.m. or to be able to eat fruits and vegetables when they don't want to. This is the child I'm demanding to really stick to a routine. So first, just build that connection with this child within you. Just simple question. This is the child I am demanding to do what I want to do. So you might think like, oh my God, that is so unfair. Like, oh, I don't want this child to wake up 5 a.m. Don't let your mind go that way. That's not what this exercise is about. Feel the bond between the two of you. Feel that level of kindness that whatever you're ever going to make yourself do, you're demanding from that child within you. Once you are so aware and you're conscious of that child within you, it's going to stop throwing tantrums. It's going to come on your side. But if we have not connected with ourselves on such a deeper level, with such a awareness and expanded consciousness, when we have not done that for so long, there's no trust. That child does not trust you. If this is the first time you're doing it, building that trust takes time. And the best way to build that trust is forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for the way you have treated yourself in a very unkind, unpolite, harsh way because you just needed to get things done. Maybe the way you talked to yourself was so harsh because you needed to get things done. You're trying to motivate yourself to get things done. That child is hurt. So after that, start your program, whatever it is, put on an alarm. If 5 a.m. is the thing that is on your agenda, wake up 5 a.m. tomorrow. If you don't wake up, forgive yourself. That's where having this relationship with your 5-year-old self is going to enforce kindness and forgiveness. The more you forgive yourself, for example, let's say if I decide tomorrow is the first day I'm going to do my new exercise routine, right? I wake up tomorrow and then I couldn't do it. Maybe I got distracted. I did wake up, but I just couldn't do it. So what do? I forgive myself. I start again the next day. I start again the next day. Eventually, there would be a day, as long as I am putting that alarm clock, as long as I am acting on it and I am not giving up on myself. A day is going to come where that trust within me and that little child within me is going to build in a way that I will wake up. And that would be the next phase. Then I will wake up, I'll exercise, I'll keep doing it. And if I don't do it on some day, again, I don't beat myself up. I forgive myself. I stay kind with myself. And then I keep going. If I stay with that routine, eventually this new behavior is going to become part of me without me going towards any harsh ways of dealing with myself. And really keep nurturing that kindness within me, kindness towards that little child that is within me. This sounds like a lot of work when we stretch it over like, almost a 30-minute conversation. But in a nutshell, whenever you want to create change in your life or whatever area you're trying to create small change in your life, it's going to require discipline. If in your mind, the word discipline is something negative or painful or punishment, it's you're going against a boulder. It's like you're trying to move a 1,000-pound boulder with your own bare hand without you using any machinery. So the way around it is, first, start to marinate yourself with the idea that that's what I want to do. Spend at least a week, few days, a couple of weeks just with that idea, and then connect with your 5-year-old self within you, that that is the child you're demanding this from, that is the child you're asking this from, and create a habit of just forgiving yourself and not going towards that negative reinforcement that was introduced in your childhood, that if you don't do something, you're bad, there's something wrong with you, you are a loser, you can never get it right. I mean, some people even use curse word towards themselves. Let go of all of that. Forgiveness. If you need to write a letter of forgiveness to yourself, go ahead and do that. Just sit with yourself and forgive yourself for all the past incidents, events, when you treated yourself in a very negative way. Let all that go. And then when you implement your plan, keep going. There's no stopping. Keep going. There's no saying to yourself, I don't think so, I can do it, so I'm just going to drop it. No, keep going. Forgiveness, kindness, and create the discipline in your life that way. All we want to do is keep doing it so much over and over and over that it becomes part of our unconscious mind. And once it becomes part of your unconscious mind, it is going to be so much easier for you to do. And then you get to build maybe a different part of your life, maybe a different aspect. Once your food is really solid, maybe you can create another habit or another level of discipline within you. For me, one of the things I am so grateful I created the discipline in 2019 was to meditate every single day. At this point, if I get busy, my body makes me do it. I will maybe find myself sitting in the car doing meditation if there's a little bit of time left. Maybe I'll be sitting with everybody else. My eyes would be open, but I am just in that stillness within me. There are such wonderful ways I have found myself. I have noticed myself finding ways to meditate because it became part of me. I don't have to even push myself to do it. It comes natural. It comes so easy. While other people, they are struggling with creating that discipline, I got that one. But now I'm building other ways. But I've been able to do it with kindness and forgiveness. If I miss one day for whatever reason, there's no conversation, there's no analysis of my personality why I didn't do. I just didn't do it. Be kind to that 5-year-old within you. Just do it tomorrow. So this is a little bit of our, I think, conversation I wanted to bring, how to create discipline from a place of kindness, because we are taught to create discipline from a very unkind place. And all it does, it takes away our energy. The more energy you take away from you, you're depleting your energy body from that. So over time, we build stress, anxiety, fear, and all kind of wonderful diseases in our body because we're just pushing ourselves. But when you come from a very holistic approach of being kind, having that little kid in front of you, forgiving yourself and not just trying to push through every wall that you come across, you're going to feel very energized and you're going to be able to create a more productive life that you feel more satisfied with. And at the same time, you feel joyful and happy too. You're not bitter, you're not stressed, you're not mad at anybody, but you're actually in harmony with yourself and your life. So that is all for today. If you have any question, reach out to me. I'm here to help you with any question you have. And if you're ready to take this journey to be kind with yourself on so many deeper levels, reach out to me, Alia, the Love Coach. Just Google it if you don't know how to find me. And I would love to have that conversation with you. Have a beautiful rest of the day. And I'm sending lots of love. Bye.